able to join us live. And like I've already explained one time, the main thing about this presentation, this webinar, is going to do a final overview. And for the specific issues that we'll talk about, if you continue to have questions, please join us in our open office hours or fill out that Google form to have someone directly reach out to you. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. So just to give you a brief agenda for this meeting, we're going to get started with just doing that brief intro to Al-Rajhi, since we do have a lot of new folks who've been joining us, and then basically go over your Nusuk checklist, right? Everything you need to have ready in order to make sure you're ready for the selling period. We'll talk about the Al-Rajhi US package codes and a little bit more about what you can expect with those. We're going to talk about Al-Musafer, and basically just walk through what our main issues and concerns are with that. And then what's the deal with launch date, right? That's what most of us are here for. I'm going to go ahead and go over all the information I have on that. So let's go ahead and okay, so Al-Rajhi is one of the 10 service providers on Nusuk this year. They were there last year, provided services to over 7,000 Hajis all over the world via Nusuk last year. 1,400 of them were actually from right here in the United States. And Alhamdulillah, they did well enough last year that they got the #1 ranking from the Hajj services, from the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, and were presented this award back at the Umrah and Hajj Expo. So they've been doing this for 60 years for the Saudi Hajjaj, and this since last year they've been welcoming international Hajjaj as well. So our goal here, whether that be at Al-Rajhi or specifically at Al-Fajr, is really to help you navigate Nusuk. If you've been to any of my other webinars, you know we try to walk you through as much of the information as we can. We try to provide as much transparency as we can. I will continue to do so in this webinar, and between now and inshallah, when we go ahead and start the selling, or when Nusuk starts the selling and you're able to purchase a package. That's what we'll focus on. So your Nusuk checklist, right? Here are all the main things. Oh, it's not showing all my images here, but oh, there we go. The main things we want to make sure that you all get done. So now, the thing with the start date is we don't have an official start date, right? That's been provided to us by the ministry. No one knows. None of the service providers, none of their partners in the international countries like the US and Europe, no one knows the exact date that the ministry will open up. We are provided a timeline, though generally it does get delayed sometimes. It gets moved back while they're resolving the issues with Nusuk. So as of right now, the official time frame that we've been given by the ministry is that selling is supposed to start tomorrow on Sunday, which is March 3rd, 2024. As far as the specific time it's supposed to start, that has also not been shared with us. So we cannot provide you an exact time frame of when selling would start. What the information that's been communicated to us is that when selling starts, Nusuk will go ahead and send out an email to everyone registered with them, informing them that Nusuk is open and packages are live for buying. From our end, what we will be doing, inshallah, is having our team essentially refresh and keep checking Nusuk to make sure that we know exactly when packages are launched. When the second packages are launched, inshallah, we will let you guys know. We, of course, want to make sure everyone here is able to go ahead and pick up their package in a timely manner. Now, everyone here is familiar with the, I'm sure, United States market, but I just want to go ahead and reiterate for anyone who may be new that essentially the biggest concern we have here is the quota, right? The number of visas allotted by the ministry to the United States. It is relatively low compared to the demand for Hajj. So what happens is packages sell out very quickly. Last year, if any of you had tried to get a package, you would know. I know many of the people actually who are currently trying for Hajj this year had tried last year and were unable to get a package. So in order to try to make this experience as smooth as possible, we are asking people to do the following 4 steps. Number one, we want to make sure that by the end of today, everyone has a package configured and ready in their cart. So it's completely ready and you're basically ready to check out with it. The second thing we want to make sure is everyone's e-wallet is topped up to the full amount of what they need to purchase what's in their cart, right? Whatever amount is showing up as the cost for your package or packages, if you're a family, make sure your e-wallet has the total amount in there. The third thing is to have a backup package or a backup plan for set up as your preferred package selected. So I again will show you how to do this and what I mean by this, but this is the third step that we will have you do. The final thing is to join our Telegram. So one of the concerns I have, and I'll go through this when we talk about joining that Telegram, is that folks will not be able to get informed about when packages are going to go live. Right now, with the WhatsApp group, I can send you a message, and I definitely will, but it's not, in case you have our group on mute, which I definitely suggest unmuting at this point, or you just don't check your WhatsApp or your messages that often, you won't, there is a high chance you won't see it until packages have been open for a while. So Telegram gives you this option where you can send out a sound to people. So we went ahead and created a Telegram account. I'll share the details in a few minutes in one of the last slides we have here. And actually, Sister Rahima, do you mind putting in the chat box as well for people? And can you send them the WhatsApp group and the Instagram page? We send info there too. Basically, all of our communication channels, we'll go ahead and update this information for them. So let's get started. If for any reason you are still having trouble with the following, how to register on Nusuk, of course, all of you should be done with this step, although we still have people, brothers and sisters, who are still doing this. How to top up your e-wallet on Nusuk and how to select your package on Nusuk, right? We actually have 2 more videos up now since this slide was made, which are the ones for e-wallet troubleshooting, basically the most common issues people were facing. I was able to go ahead and find some troubleshooting steps for them. And the second video was specifically about Musafer, and actually it's broken up into 2 videos, one about Musafer for people who need international legs to their trips, and then people who want to go ahead and try to book a flight from their direct city here in the. So that's just some of the videos we have up that should inshallah help you through these things. If you're still having trouble, right, please, no, the number one thing we want people to do is to first try to go through the e-wallet and video and try to go through the package configuration video that we have over here and to try to pick up those packages. If you're still having trouble, we already put a Google form in our WhatsApp group, and we're going to go ahead and put it in the chat over here in Zoom, where you can go ahead and submit your details so somebody from the team can reach out to you, inshallah, today to make sure we can walk you through those steps and that you are all set for when selling starts. Okay, so let's take a look. These are the basic mean 3 packages that we've been offering since day 1, right? So it's luxury line 1, luxury line 2, and then luxury shifting line 1. All of these packages, as they're viewable here, are available on Nusuk. This pricing over here reflects the final cost that you will see in Nusuk. And that's for the ones that we have flights for, right? Most of our packages, we actually have flights departing from 4 gateway cities, which are DC, New York, Chicago, New York. Los Angeles. There are some that will say book through Musafer. Basically, we have a small number of flights that small number of packages that we don't have flights for configured on our end, and that we went ahead and left open for people to choose packages from their home cities. Now, I'm going to talk about Musafer a little bit in detail in the next few slides, but the main takeaway I want people to have here is that we are worried about Musafer's ability to, number one, handle the kind of traffic that will be present on the day selling starts. Number two, the unpredictability of pricing and of available flights in Musafer. And number three, the length of time it'll take for checkout. So overall, we're telling people, even though we have these flights, don't choose these options unless you really need to. I'll walk you through those. And don't choose these options with the Musafer. If you have the ability to, we strongly, strongly recommend going for one of the packages that already have cities included, right? And the benefit of that is your checkout process is going to be a lot smoother, and you're going to know off the bat what your price is. Whatever's here, this is the price including the ticket. No guessing games with Musafer. And then the final thing is it'll just basically increase your chances of being able to go ahead and check out of Nusuk with your package before the visas allotted to the US hit capacity. Okay, so I'm going to hop into Musafer in a second, but I wanted to go ahead and just go back one step and talk about e-wallet for a second, because I know people are continuing to have issues with that, right? So with e-wallet, the main two issues we're seeing is just the amount of money you're trying to put in one shot. The larger amounts, over, I would say 10,000 real, people are having trouble with. So if you've continuously tried to put money into e-wallet and it's not working, what I first recommend is try to put in an amount like 500 or 1,000 real. If it goes up, if it goes through, maybe do 5,000, 10,000 to try to see if you can use that card, because likely that is the main issue, is that the amounts are too big. The other thing is, while you're in that, go ahead and give the fraud department of your product, whether that be your credit card or debit card, and see if they can go ahead and remove any blocks that may be on your product, like your credit card or your debit card, to not allow large payments, especially because this is a foreign charge, right? At this time, we're also strongly recommending that people go with the credit card option or the debit card option, because we are so close to when selling will start that we want to make sure everyone's e-wallet is topped up today and not waiting with a bank transfer for up to 10 business days, which there's a chance, of course, that selling gets delayed, and I'm going to talk about that from this Sunday timeline we've been given, but it's not going to get delayed up to 10 business days. It'll probably be sometime later this week. And so we want to make sure from our end, everyone has their packages configured and their e-wallets ready by tonight. Okay. Okay. Now, what packages does we already went through this. What is Musafer? Okay. So what I mean by Musafer is that custom flight feature that you see on Nusuk, right? So sorry, give me one second. This is what I'm talking about right here. So if you'll notice, most of our packages already have set flights on them. There's a couple where we left it open so that people from other gateways that we weren't able to support can go ahead and choose a flight from their city. Like Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, those are some of the places where I got the most amount of requests from. Now, after Musafer launched, right, on last Sunday, I've taken quite a bit of time to look at it. It's basically like a external ticketing system designed to purchase your own flight. And it is embedded within Nusuk. Our concern with this essentially comes down to the fact that there's still a lot of glitches with it. People aren't able to pick up packages. So we are trying to discourage people from using Musafer, because we have plenty of available flights from our 4 gateways, especially DC and Los Angeles, where you'll be able to go ahead and go through one of those gateways. One of the main things is it doesn't have a multi-city option. And while we've been told that it may be added, we're not sure whether it'll be added before selling starts. So one of the things you would have to do is either go round trip to Jeddah or round trip to Medina, and then have to commute back and forth from there, versus how we have our packages set up so that you basically go to one city and fly out of the other city on your way back. And then we've got, you know, uh, one of the other things is basically finding packages that align with the dates. This is all included, by the way, in our Musafer webinar, which we'll go ahead and put in the WhatsApp group, so that you can take a look at that. Let's take a look here. The main thing is also you won't be able to go ahead and know the final price of your package until the day selling starts, right? Because once you may have selected a flight right now, but if that flight first of all gets booked out, or you need to, or goes up in price, it's very, the chances of that is very high, right? That the price of the flight will go up, and then your e-wallet won't be sufficient. You'll have to go to your e-wallet and check out with that. And all these things basically leave a lot of room for delays and for crashes with the system. And we just want to make sure that people can check out as soon as possible and as quickly as possible. Okay, if you have no other option, you really need to go through Musafer, right? If you can't come to one of our hubs, or you know, you have a situation where you got to drop your kids off to a different city or state, or whatever the case may be, the things that we want to make sure you definitely consider when you're booking that flight is the departure date from the US versus the arrival date in Saudi, right? Make sure you're not losing too much time on your flight, on your packages with those. If you are, that's basically between you and Musafer. Those are those flights are basically booked through Nusuk. The service provider has no involvement in it. The length of the layover, so the maximum, you know, however you're comfortable going with in terms of the long layovers, that's up to you, but do not choose one less than 2.5 hours. Really, 3 hours is the minimum for international flights. You just don't want to get stuck in a situation where you're stranded at Istanbul or Doha airport before Hajj. There will be nothing we as service providers can do at that point to get you into the kingdom for your Hajj. So these are, you know, many of the reasons why we're trying to tell people go with the packages with the flights. Your arrival city and time in Saudi, right? Make sure that your hotel check-in time, you consider it, you know, if you're choosing the Medina first package, you're gonna start on June 7th. And if you're starting the Makkah first package, you're gonna start on June 10th. You're going to get your key cards for your, like, you know, you're gonna have check-in at the later end of the day. I would expect after 6 o'clock, you know, during Hajj time, with the groups, it can take a while to turn over those rooms, to clean them up and have the next group come in. So it's often times, you know, 7 o'clock, you know, is normal for you to get your hotel key cards. So if you choose a flight that gets there on the 7th, but at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you'll be stuck without a room for quite some time. Of course, you can always drop your luggage off and then go do what you want to do. But with the long flights from the US, most folks want to be able to come right into their hotel room. And if you want to do that, I would recommend making sure your flight lands either in the evening of the 7th, or even, you know, the way a lot of these packages or flights were working, you were landing at like 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. on the 8th. That may be a better option than landing 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. on the 7th and being stuck without a room for 15 hours plus. The final thing is, there's been a lot of questions about whether Al-Rajhi will provide transportation to people who are taking those Musafer flights. Yes, that is included in your package. So no matter where you land, we'll get those flight details via Nusuk for any flight you book in Musafer. And we'll, of course, be corresponding with you to make sure we have our team there ready at the airport to pick you up and meet you. Excuse me. Okay, traveling from a foreign country, again, there's no multi-city options. If you're going to be sitting in Jordan at that time, you would have to get a round trip ticket outside of Musafer to Jordan, and then basically book your flight from Jordan to Saudi Arabia within Musafer, and you'll be able to do that. Make sure you consider that the length of the flights are a lot lower from those sorts of countries, you know, the countries in the Middle East and South Asia. So you'll likely book a flight that is leaving on the 7th and arriving on the 7th. Let's go ahead. If you wanted a business class ticket, the group tickets will not be able to accommodate you. You would have to do it through Musafer too, and you'll basically be able to filter the cabin class and see that. Again, our main issues with our concerns with Musafer is how well it's going to perform once selling starts, not necessarily, and the availability of flights, not necessarily, you know, whether, like, at the end of the day, the basic point is you can choose the option that works best for you. From our end, we are strongly recommending you go with the group flights in order to avoid any sort of issues when you're going through the buying process, right? Once selling starts. So what I'm going to do is two things. I'm going to go ahead and briefly show you Nusuk. Give me 1 second here, brothers and sisters. Rahima, can you give me my, I need the OTP. Give me 1 second here, brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen. So I can go ahead and log into Nusuk real quick. And then we will be able to talk about what info we have on selling. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. It's going to take me a couple of minutes. When I'm sharing my screen, the computer is just a little bit slower than normal. As far as folks who are raising their hands, brothers and sisters, you can leave your questions in the chat, in the Q&A, and inshallah, we will try to get to as many of them as we can. But outside of the chat that, session we're doing here, we will have our normally scheduled office hours, and we're actually doing extended office hours. Today you'll have the option to come in tonight, and then tomorrow, if you take a look at the schedule that's been provided in the WhatsApp group, we'll have actually three 3 hour long sessions. So like one 3 hour long session in the morning and one 3 hour long session at night. So you definitely have plenty of time to come in and ask your questions. And then we will continue to do those until the end of or the beginning of selling, inshallah. So while I'm actually waiting for my Nusuk account here, let me take a look briefly at the questions that are being asked. Rahima, I need the OTP. Okay. Alhamdulillah, was able to get this figured out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look now. Go ahead and put this on the bottom here. All right. So this is our sample account that we've been using. I'm sure if you've been joining our webinars, you've seen this a couple of times. We're going to go ahead and configure this from the starting point so you can see exactly how you can do it. And then we're going to do, we're going to take basically 10 minutes to show you the two different versions of um, configuring your package really quickly, and then what we know about how selling is going to work. So the first thing we've told you all is make sure you have one configured package, right? Here's how you're going to do that. For the packages that include flights, which is the one that we are all encouraging you to go for, right? So for example, let's do luxury line 1. It's a quick option. Ooh. So you're already seeing, because of the high traffic, how many small issues we're having here. Let me see if I can just filter by. Wow. Okay. Let me see. So I can access it via the dashboard. Otherwise, this will turn into a really good lesson into why we're saying go for those packages with flights included, because Nusuk itself already has a lot of challenges, and we want to make sure it's as easy as possible for you to check out when the time comes. So I'm able to click configure package over here. Hopefully it lets me go through this time around. Okay, perfect. So I'm just quickly basically choosing the hotel rooms. I'm not going to go too much into detail here because I did cover this in depth in our Monday webinar. And you can definitely find that on YouTube if you have any questions about this process. But basically, you're going to configure. I don't know if you guys can see that I'm trying to go through, but it is not going through. And I'm assuming this is a glitch because of Nusuk having too much traffic on it. So this is a good time as any to start talking about what the process is going to look like, right? Now, what I've already shared at the beginning of this webinar was the fact that what's been communicated to us is that selling is starting on Sunday, which is tomorrow, the 3rd of March. Now, we haven't been given a specific time from Nusuk, and to be honest, based on what we're seeing on the back end, it doesn't look like it's likely that selling will start tomorrow. But because this is the initial announcement by the ministry, we want to make sure that everyone's packages are configured, added to their cart by today, and that you are able to go ahead and top up your e-wallet to the correct amount. You will have some trouble with that today. You can see on the screen how much trouble I'm having getting through right now, likely because of the high amount of traffic, as everyone's kind of heard about this Sunday deadline and people are trying to go ahead and get stuff done. Like I said, number 1, Sunday is the date we've been given. Number 2, we likely think it's going to be pushed back, but we don't have a clear answer on that. And number 3, regardless, we want to make sure everyone is prepared by going ahead and configuring their package and also topping up their e-wallet. The third thing, because I've been trying to do this and it's not working, is I will show you how we would like you to choose a preferred package as a backup package. So right now, and we've been told, what's been communicated is that you will likely have the option to like they're trying to add the option to heart or prefer up to 5 packages. We haven't seen that happen so far. So again, we're going to go ahead and I can't even do basic features like filter. So we're pretty much waiting for Nusuk here to, wow. I'll go ahead and just leave this then. So as far as this goes, sorry, I'm just trying to multitask here and see if we can get a resolution to this issue. Oh, it looks like it's checked me out, or it's logged me out, kicked me out of the account. So I'll go ahead and just pause the screen share for a second to see if I can get back in. But the main idea is there's a lot of issues they're working on in the back end, so we don't think selling is going to start tomorrow. But just in case, we're trying to get everyone to go ahead and have everything ready on their side. Now, as far as informing you guys when selling starts, we will let you know via the group. The other thing we've done is create a Telegram account because Telegram allows for us to get the information to you, like a sound out to you, which we want to go ahead and do so that you can get the information as soon as possible, essentially. Now, in terms of choosing and configuring a package, what we're saying is have one package that's completely configured and in your cart, and then Nusuk right now allows you to heart or prefer one package. So have a backup package that's preferred and in your preferred list, so that if for any reason your current package that's in your shopping cart is not available, you can go ahead and quickly filter out by the preferred package and pick up the second package. The third thing that we're saying is try not to take the Musafer flights. We're worried about all the bugs. You're seeing just how hard it is to get into Nusuk right now. We're expecting these sorts of issues, so we're trying to go ahead and make sure everyone chooses an option where you have the flight included, because it'll go ahead and make the checkout process a lot quicker for you. One thing is just the fact that you'll have to reselect the flight in Nusuk, in Musafer, and then the second thing is, say the price of those custom flights jumps up, you would have to first go ahead and top up your e-wallet before you'll be able to go ahead and continue the checkout process. So that's many of the reasons, basically the most common reasons why we're saying, don't go for those group flights, or sorry, custom flights, go for the group flights. Now, as far as selling information goes, we're going to keep you in the loop in that Telegram group. Nusuk has stated that they're going to send out an email and let you guys know via email when the selling starts. To be honest, we are not going to rely on that, although we will go ahead and let you know if that email gets sent out. But our team is basically going to nonstop refresh Nusuk, log into Nusuk, and as soon as selling starts, we'll go ahead and make sure that via the WhatsApp group. And now we've created this Telegram group as well, so that that allows us to send you a sound alert. We'll test that out later today, and you'll be able to get the information that way as well. Now, there have been a lot of questions about how selling looks. The main point I want everyone to understand is that none of the service providers, none of their international partners know exactly how it's going to look once selling starts. This information has not been communicated by the ministry. What we have been told is a couple of things. One, that, and brothers and sisters, you can see I'm trying to go ahead and submit this package again, but it's not working. So I'm just going to go through the things we know. One is that if you have a configured package in your shopping cart, you'll be able to click here and view the package. That's if your package is available, still available. If it's empty like this and you had a configured package, it basically means your package is no longer available. If your flight isn't available, but the package is still available, so like each package may have, this is for the one, of course, that we have flights included with, maybe the package has 3 flights, one from Chicago, one from New York, one from Los Angeles. Say your New York flight is no longer available, you will still be able to see the package in your cart. You'll have to click on it, start the process, and then it'll tell you on the page when you're trying to check out that your flight is not available anymore, and that you'll have to go ahead and choose a different flight to continue with that package. So definitely take a look at your packages, see the other flight options, know them beforehand and notate them beforehand to know whether or not you would want to go with them. And if you definitely don't want to go with them, make sure that you have a different preferred package that's been hearted, so that you can jump onto that one if the flights are not available to your liking in the package you have in your cart. If your package has like absolutely nothing left, right? That there's, forget the flights, the hotel configurations are not available either, you won't see it at all. It will look like this where it's empty and you will have to go back in and choose a different package. That's why we're telling you to have one hearted or preferred so that you can go into that directly. I think my points about Musafer, I don't want to, beat the same dead horse again and again. But you're seeing literally on your screen right now how much trouble I'm having just navigating the Nusuk platform. Forget the internal, the external custom flight bookings, service that they have. So this is one of basically the main reason why we're telling people don't choose those packages without flights. Choose options where we have flights. We have plenty of options, alhamdulillah. Like 85 to 90% of the packages have flights with them. And so the benefit of Telegram is it's supposed to work a little bit better than WhatsApp. I'm sorry, I know I'm making you guys get another application on your phone, but we just want to make sure we're able to communicate with you guys as quickly as possible. And in terms of the view of Nusuk, either we've looked at a couple of options. It hasn't been directly communicated by the ministry as to how you will get to checkout, right? There's one option on the dashboard to see your preferred package or your configured package, and there's one option in the cart above. So, we'll be learning with you kind of when these go live exactly how it works. What we're going to try to do on our end is go ahead and share with you as much information as we can. The main thing is we'll also do a live webinar at that time and share the link with you that you can hopefully, inshallah, share on your, look at on your phone. So as we're learning stuff and as you're trying to check out, we will go ahead and share what we're learning as well. Our main goal, again, has always been to try to help you guys navigate this process as much as possible. And inshallah, we will continue to do so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just trying to get to that Telegram link up, but I think Rahima has also added it in our WhatsApp group. So let's give me one moment here, please, brothers and sisters. And this is going to be the last thing before I start looking at that. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a look here. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now. Let me take a look here. Oh, perfect. There we go. I totally missed it. That's the Telegram QR code right there in the middle. Perfect. It looks like it's sharing it now, so you can see it. Perfect. Okay. So inshallah, that's basically all the main updates we have about this process. There are, I've basically went through everything that's confirmed. As far as what we can kind of assume is, again, also some of the information I've already given, which is that these are going to go live sooner rather than later, which is why we're trying to get everyone through the process of their e-wallet and configurations by today. And in order to try to help you guys through the process, we have set up this Telegram that we'll go ahead and test out. Definitely still stay in the WhatsApp, because between the WhatsApp and Telegram, we're going to try to test out the features that Telegram gives us. But it's a new application for me, and we're going to work on it, inshallah, today to make sure it's working properly in advance of the selling date. And then the last thing is, of course, We'll continue to do open office hours from now until whenever selling starts to make sure we're able to go ahead and address all your concerns and questions. So inshallah, my dua is that everyone who is making the intention for Hajj to this year, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts their intention and extends an invitation to you all to Saudi to Makkah for Hajj this year. And however I can help through this process, I will continue to do so via those office hours. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to stop the recording. So I'm going to stop the recording.